Have you ever felt buried in busy work, second guessing what to hand off, or wondering why growth still feels so darn heavy? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Delegate to Elevate, Get Done, where real conversations help you lead smarter, delegate better, and take more off your plate. Here's your host, me, Bonnie Schutz. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Delegate to Elevate, Get Done. I'm your host, Bonnie Schutz, and today's guest is Stephanie Scheller. She is an international speaker and best-selling author who helps entrepreneurs unlock focus, creativity, and consistent growth by understanding how the brain really works. Through her company, Grow Disrupt, she creates immersive, neuroscience-driven events designed specifically for how entrepreneurial brains learn. Part strategist, part violinist, and part unabashed science nerd. Stephanie is on a mission to make business growth simpler, more joyful, and far more human. Thanks, Stephanie. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm laughing every time someone's like, oh, she's a neuroscience nerd. Like, all I can think back to is like, I really am, because like my light reading before bed is like how the brain works. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a nerd.
Fancy. I love it. Well, I am so excited to have you here. We have tried to get you on the show. It's taken a couple of cancels and reschedules, but here you are. I knew it would happen inevitably.
You know what? The best thing to do, and the other thing I have learned in business is not to stress about the timing, because usually the timing ends up working out when it's supposed to work out. And so
Absolutely.
I used to be like, oh my God, it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to. And now for the most part, I'm just like, no, it'll happen when it's
She'll
supposed
still
to
be
happen.
there tomorrow. That's right. One of my most recent guests was like, life be lifing. So business be businessin'.
I feel like I need to write life be life in that.
Life be life.
Sounds good.
So this is what I customarily would ask you. So tell us a little bit more about where you've been, what you do, and where you're going in business.
Oh, okay. So it's actually funny that you asked that, because I was listening to you read the bio and I was like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I think I gave you that bio back when we were originally supposed to do this, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Right.
We weren't talking about one of the big shifts that we've been planning for 2026, but now I can actually talk about it.
Yay. Go for it.
Right. So we've been background, right? We've been an event production company for 10 years. We have been producing retreats and conferences that are about how do you grow your business. But our big focus is, I always say we build stuff to be used. And like, you go to a lot of conferences, you go to a lot of retreats, and it's more about pitching you the next product, pitching you the next thing. Or what frustrates me the most are the ones that are intentionally wearing you out physically and mentally and emotionally, because they're going to pitch you a product or service and they want you to buy it.
Right.
So we've been doing these events with like, let's actually do an event where the event is the product, where people can use what they learn from the event. I know this is kind of shocking.
Novel idea.
What? And last year we really I came like face to face with like, Stephanie doesn't want to scale the events. Okay. I don't want to run a multi-thousand person event. Every time we finish an event, all the email, most of the feedback is, oh my God, you need to do this for more people. Oh my God, you need this. You could do this for easily 200. Steph, you should do this for 1,000. I'm like, thank you. Don't want to. Right. I like my small events. But I am also seeing that the impact we are making for people, which is this kind of identity-based, help them break through what is the pieces of their identity that are blocking them, but then also making sure they have structure that works for their brains so that that breakthrough, that momentum survives contact with real life. And I'm seeing that this is something like the way we do events is needed. And so last year we started looking at like, how do we scale in a way that Steph doesn't reach a point where she hates her life and hates her business and just wants to throw everything away?
Yeah.
And it actually came at one of our events. I created a workbook for the group for the event. And as going through the workbook, I was just going through the final workbook myself just to make sure, like, does that all work? And I was like, just going through the workbook, I had these aha moments. And I was like, I wonder if we could create like a kit or a product or like a box that someone would purchase where it would be almost like an advent calendar that like they get the pieces to go through the experience the way I want them to, because the reason we've always done events is like, I want to be able to control all the pieces that help you have the grow disrupt experience. And so about 8 months ago, we started working on this internally. How do we create these kits and these products? And now we have these kits and these products, and they're coming. And I'm so excited. It's like
you can put your hands on. I love it.
It's the hands on, and then like I look at this stuff, and like one of them's like the habit Kickstarter sprint, and it's 7 days to actually establish a habit that will integrate with your identity, so you keep it going. And like the neuroscience, the research that I was doing into how do we lower effort threshold, how do we tie this to their identity in 7 days, all of this stuff, it was so fascinating.
Nice.
It was so much fun to put together.
That's why you read those books at night.
I was and on my lunch breaks, and it's my genuine like enjoy, like chill. I'm like, this is so much fun.
I love that. You need to have a little fun. No, I love the pivot. I love a good pivot, a good swivel in your business. So how's that been? Is that already, have you already got this thing for sale? Are you already pushing it out there yet? Or is it still coming?
Have launched in May is the blind date with the books. So what we did was I looked at, someone gave me a blind date with a book when, for my birthday. And I was like, okay, this is fascinating. And then I was kind of looking like, what if we could do a blind date with a book like ADHD Entrepreneurs Edition?
Yeah.
And so then we built this whole kit, and we did a and all these.
Oops, Stephanie, I'm going to pause for 1 sec. We're having a little trouble with your mic.
Oh no.
It's kind of clicking out a little bit.
Hold on.
I'm hearing little scratchies. I'm going to take it.
Oh, it's not letting me change the mic now that we're recording.
Oh, right. Of course.
Okay. Is it still giving you scratchies?
Maybe if you don't move too much or something. Yeah. Right now it's fine. But
okay.
maybe Riverside will catch it.
I wonder if it's my earrings hitting the mic.
Oh.
All right. Let's try. Let me try scooting the mic out a little bit. That's hilarious. I'm noticing they're jolting. I'm going to try not.
Okay. I don't know where we're at. Oh God, where were we at? Can you think
it's better?
Yes.
Can you still hear me? Okay.
I can. Do you think we can pick? Oh boy, now I wasn't thinking about where we were.
No. I said, so we launched the blind dates. I'll start from there. Yeah. So
I'm going to count you down on a 3, 2, 1. Okay. Perfect. Just to give him time to catch up on the video. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes. So we launched the blind dates with a book in May. And this kind of stemmed from, for my birthday last year, one of my family members gave me a blind date with a book. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fascinating. And then I was reading through it, and I was like, what if we do blind date with the book ADHD Entrepreneurs Edition, where it's a book that's going to help you accomplish something in your business. You can trust that whoever read it, like, understood. And so we created this whole experience on how do you read a book for the ADHD brain to absorb and use the information. And so we sold those, but then the sprints, these 7-day kits, those are launching in September
26th.
Hold on. I have to double check the date. I think I would have this embraced like burned into my head, but apparently
I feel you.
Apparently not. September 22nd. They will drop on September 22nd.
Nice. Very cool. Well, good luck with those. I mean,
thank you.
I think now I've had a couple other people on as guests who have mentioned ADHD and the challenges that it brings to entrepreneurs. And so, I mean, in a nutshell, like without going into your full book, tell us what it's like and why you decided to lean into the ADHD brain in your business. Is it something that you deal with on a personal level?
Yes. And it's kind of funny. I got diagnosed in my mid-20s.
Okay.
And I really brushed it off. I was like, that's nice. Like I graduated summa cum laude. I held down at least 2 jobs all the way through college while holding, a straight A. I was a top producer for the company I worked for. I rebuilt the retention department. I built a sales. I'd done all these things. So I'm looking at this and like, when they were like, oh my God, yes, you are so, I was like, and what does this mean for me? Like, I don't, whatever. And it really wasn't until post-pandemic that I started to realize how much of my life I had built around my ADHD, our events, for example, right? Like
Yeah.
The stupidest thing. We put 5 chairs at every table instead of 6. You know why?
Ooh, no.
Because if you put 5 chairs, the whole table will stay in the same conversation for the most part. But if you put 6, they'll split into 2 conversations of 3.
Oh,
And so when
wow.
I'm sitting at a table with 2 I'm trying to listen to both. And
Yeah,
my brain's
yeah.
getting tired and I'm getting annoyed. And so Stephanie just said, we're not going to let anyone do this. We're just going to take away a chair at each table.
Oh, that's kind of cool. And that's fun.
And then I started to learn about, so as I was starting to learn about the ADHD brain and how challenging it can be for us to filter stuff and how we can, really like we burn through a lot of nutrients and glucose and oxygen more so than a neurotypical brain. And I was reading this and I was like, this is why it really bothers me the most to have 6 chairs at each table, because now there's 2 conversations going on the break. I'm trying to listen to both. I'm getting tired on my break. So by the time the speaker starts again, I'm not like ready to.
Or you've already walked out of the room.
Yes.
You're
So
like,
I just realized I'm doing this for me. And then other people came along for the ride.
That's great. No, I mean, share what you know. Like that was a great little takeaway there, that you're like, oh, I can't be the only person feeling this way. I got to do something about it. No, I love that about you. So, so you're a career pivoter like me, like we're ex-corporate dropout, corporate dropouts. Love that too.
Yep.
Yeah. So how long have you been in business for yourself?
So I started the sales training practice. That was my 4
Initial.
months I started the practice in May of 2014. In August of 2014, I made more money part-time than full-time, and I walked away from my corporate job and I've not gone back. So, we're coming up on, what is that? 2014, 12 years
26.
now.
Yeah.
12 years.
Yeah.
And then the events started in January 2017 was the first event.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
Fun.
Well, now that you've been doing this for 12 years, I'm sure at some point in your journey, you've had to delegate or outsource parts of your business in order to make room and give yourself that part-time job.
Right.
What has your experience been like? Good, bad, ugly, or otherwise?
Oh,
All the
man.
things.
It's been all over the board.
Really?
Seriously. So there are times I've done very well with delegating. And I think one of the skills that we underestimate how tied to delegating it is boundaries. And holding boundaries is something I have fluctuated on and off with being very good at and being very bad at throughout my
Thank you for being honest.
And usually it ends up getting really bad and I end up getting really frustrated. And someone's like, well, Stephanie, you're causing your own problems. And I'm like, how dare you?
Guilty.
And then I'm like, oh, maybe I should. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been good and it's been bad, right? There have been times I have delegated really well. I've been able to pass things off with no problem. My team's been able to take things over. I've never had to get involved again.
Yeah.
And there have been times that I've delegated poorly. And the times I've delegated poorly have sometimes been a person issue where I hired the wrong person. They weren't good for it. I was trying to push them into a role that I thought they could do, but they didn't want to do, weren't good at.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a Stephanie issue.
Sure. I'm glad you could admit that, because I do all the time. It is. But I mean, what could you tell our listeners to make them feel okay about that? Sometimes, it doesn't work 100% of the time, right?
It doesn't work 100% of the time. And I'm going to say the thing that I know and that I need the reminding of most frequently. And that is that does not determine your self-worth.
Exactly.
Or how good you are at being a business owner.
Yeah.
You said it. It's a journey, right? I think one of the podcasts I was listening to, you talked about it as a roller coaster. I was like, oh
yeah, that was a recent one, Alicia. Yes.
Yes. Like, yes, it is. And I think that is something that we sometimes lose track of and we lose sight of. I talk about this a lot with the ADHD side of things.
Okay.
Because with the ADHD side of things, we tend to have a little bit more wild fluctuations in you can have a really good executive functioning day, And especially as a woman, because we have the hormone fluctuations going on too. So like some weeks of the month, I have great executive function days all the way through.
And then 4 or 5 days, not so much.
No, yeah. Some weeks I'm like, can I take a nap? Is it nap time? I'm going, where's my goldfish and my kindergarten day? So I think like I talk about this in terms of ADHD, in terms of it being a journey a lot, with just like what you have to measure what you can do today, because, and this is not an excuse, right? It's never an excuse to not do what you need to do to grow your business. It's never an excuse to embrace an old identity or a comfortable way of doing things that is going to hold you back and keep you from being able to fulfill on your mission, because your mission should be strong enough to pull you forward. And some days are just what I call bad ADHD days.
Yeah.
And you can't hold yourself to the same standard here when you are having a day where you have no executive functioning. And I think I talk about this for the ADHD side but I think this applies across entrepreneurship, across as a whole.
Yeah.
We sometimes look at it and we're like, I was able to delegate this last year, no problem. What is wrong with me that I can't do it now? Right?
Yeah. Thanks for saying that, because I feel like I've been in that position. Like I did this a few years back. Why is it so hard this time? Yeah.
Right.
That makes no sense.
Or like I delegated this thing, and so I should never do it again. I don't want to do it again.
Right either, right?
Right. That exactly. I'm like, no, like we have to, and just because you've been doing something also doesn't mean you can't delegate it either, right? Just because you've been doing it and you've been the best person at it doesn't mean you can't hand it off to someone else to do.
Right. If you want to scale your business and be the best CEO visionary of your brand, right? It's probably better to let somebody else do the other things. But you would agree, I think, as we chatted a little before we hit record, about you can still dip your toes in it. They don't own it. I mean, it's like it's that trust but verify thing, trusting that they're getting your word out. But if you have a day on a Thursday, I want to play in my socials, I want to edit something on my website, why not?
Yeah. And I think like this is where, and I think the reason we ended up talking about this podcast originally was because I made a post about a friend who said something to me.
Yes.
Right. And this is where, like, this is a perfect example for this one, because so the background for our listeners, I have a good friend and I was having a chat with him, and I made a joke that has been a reoccurring joke for me for about 10 years, which is I need to change the Canva password on myself so I can't get in there and edit graphics. And he called me out very gently, very kindly. He was like, Stephanie, can I give you something? I was like, you are one of the few people who can. What do you got? He goes, either you need to change the password or you need to stop making that joke. He's like, are you actually going to do it? And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it, because there is data and stuff in there that I have to go pull frequently. And I know that last time I did do it, I just reset the password the next time and I was just annoyed. So like, it didn't work.
And they never do.
And he was like, then he said something that really stuck with me. He said, Stephanie, your brain is big. Put it in big places.
Ooh, I
Canva's
dropped that
not
one
a
there.
big place. And I was like,
I really like that. Quote him on that one. Wow.
Damn it, Brian.
Yeah, right.
Like, it is literally,
put it in
I
big
have
places.
a sticky note that is my like Brian says his little nickname, right? Like that's
I love it.
he's very hilarious. Like
that's beautiful.
But it's become my mantra. And the reason that I mention this is because, like, for a minute there, and I will say, like, that stuck with me. Like, the next time I went in to go edit a graphic for one of my team members, like, I was like, whoa, no, not doing it. It was a
I shall resist.
Yeah. But I have still gone in there, and every so often I do go in and I post, and I do. But I think, like, to tie this to what you said that I think was so key is, like, it's not that I'm not allowed in Canva, because Stephanie's the kind of person who, like, if I'm not allowed in Canva, like, watch me.
There.
Like,
Get in there. Yeah.
No.
My hoops.
Do not tell me.
I'm coming in.
But what I can relate to, and I have this one written down in the front of my journal as a reminder to me every single day. It says, my role is to prioritize, focus, and look ahead.
Yes.
And I can't do that if I'm stuck in Canva.
You
I'm allowed to
can't.
get in there. I
Yeah.
can play around with little things. I can do stuff if it's fun, if it's what's feeding me. But
Yeah.
what it shouldn't be is my responsibility to execute the nitty-gritty.
Or your worry about what's happening in that Canva world at the moment.
Right.
Or every moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's good advice. So I noticed, because I stalked your website before we came on, you have a team. So how many are on your team that you delegate to on a regular basis?
So there's 11 of us now total, which I was
Wow.
adding that up because I was like, whoa.
Where'd you come from? Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there is 11 now. So I
Nice.
have my content creator is still getting up to full-time speed, but he's rapidly scaling up, which is fantastic. I'm so excited.
Oh,
Because I've been doing content creation, and I do enjoy doing content creation.
sure.
I still
Yeah.
write, a lot of our social media. I still write all of our social media posts right
Mhm.
now. I still write a lot, and I like writing. Like, this is not going to turn
I do
into
too.
Steph's not going to write. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but there's a lot of writing I don't need to be doing.
But if they know you well enough, you need to leave for a week, they could write on your behalf.
Exactly. And there's writing
Yeah.
that Steph just doesn't need to be doing either. So,
Yep.
I have a content creator. I have 2 graphic designers. They both have different
Okay.
skill sets. So one of them is more of like a social media graphic designer.
Mhm.
And then I have Matthias, and he is like a traditionally trained graphic designer. So he does like brand design and like,
Yeah.
let's do website design, like all of the big stuff.
Okay.
I've got
Yep.
Chelsea who does
Workbooks and
websites.
things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eric and Yvonne do videos. Susanna is my technical director. Rachel.
Nice. And you have
I'm
an
gonna forget someone
admin.
now.
That's close
Yes.
to my heart, right?
I have two actually. So they
Love it.
one of them just handles my calendar and my communications for me, and
Nice.
then one of them handles all of this little thing needs to be taken care of real
Yeah.
quick. Can you take
Did
care
you
of that?
remember
Right? Like,
this? Yeah.
go do this.
Oh, that's great. No, I
It's
love that you
awesome.
like split that to 2 people, because like I know a lot of contractors work, part-time gigs with different
Yep.
clients. So if
Yep.
they're able to do that, that's great. That's great that
Yeah.
you're giving them that opportunity. So another question that I like to ask is, what was the first thing you delegated in your business? I know what
so
most people say. We'll see if
the
you're on
the
suit.
first thing I delegated actually wasn't in my business.
Okay. In life. I love it.
It was, I know, and this was interesting for me. So when I was getting started, I had someone teach me the energy advantage exercise.
Okay.
And what he taught me, he said, for 2 weeks, I want you to write down everything you do, all the little things you do, all of them. And I was like,
That's a lot of stuff.
take out the trash. He was like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Go to
okay.
the bathroom. Yeah.
All the things. So 2 weeks, I had pages of this, and then he had me score them 1 through 4. Ones were things that gave me energy and directly generated revenue. So that was,
Okay.
running a sales call or doing
Yeah.
direct deliverables, right?
Yeah.
2s were things that gave me energy but no revenue. So they made me energized, they excited me, but they didn't generate revenue. So like I always tell people, like, playing the violin, practicing,
Yeah.
that gives me energy. No one pays me to practice the violin. I get paid to speak
Right.
with it, but they don't pay me to practice.
Yeah.
3s are generate revenue but no energy. So it makes me money, but doesn't get me excited. And then 4s are no revenue, no energy, or energy sucks, even if it's revenue generating.
Okay.
And so when I went through my list, I had a whole bunch of things that first of all, I had a whole bunch of 4s and 3s that were like, oh, these obviously need to come off.
Yeah.
But the one that jumped out to me the most was I had always had it in my head that I liked cleaning the house. Like on the weekends, I would go through and clean the house, bathrooms, vacuum, all the stuff. And I was like, I like doing this, right?
Yeah.
And I realized I don't actually like cleaning my house. I like being in a clean house.
Yeah.
And so I outsourced the house cleaning and
Love
got
it.
housekeepers. And this
You're
was,
like my second
when I
guest
say
that said
house,
that. I love that. That's perfect. If I didn't have to think about this because I work from home and I see my house all day, like, oh, we need to redecorate. We need to fix that leak. Oh, there's a cobweb up there. Yeah. Oh, I get it. Oh, I love that.
But it freed me up to realize that I can delegate. And the reason I say
Creatively.
that is like, I don't have to delegate what everyone says I have to delegate. And I don't have to keep the whole thing on my plate because I enjoy part of it. And
Ooh,
so then the next
yeah.
thing I delegated was the graphic design for our social content, not the whole
Okay.
social.
Yeah.
I just realized Steph doesn't like creating the graphics. I'll create the post.
She likes the
Someone else
copy.
creates
Yeah.
And so so that was when I started like realizing I can start to parse this out and I can just delegate a portion
Sure.
of it. I don't have to delegate
Mhm.
the whole thing. And
Right.
so yeah, it was
Wonderful. Well,
I'm
that's
glad I'm the
great.
second person who said that because
You
I thought
are, and I think that was our mutual friend, AC Holmes. Shout out.
really that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Great minds think alike, I would say. That's wonderful. Okay. Well, what I'd like to ask you as we close out today is if there was a couple little golden nuggets, what I call them on the show, that you'd like to leave the audience with when it comes to delegation and letting go of things in your business and feeling okay about where you're at or where you want to be. What might you tell them? Do you have a little takeaway?
Ooh, I do, and it's kind of a hard one, and it is hard because our brains don't like this, and so they automatically start not sabotaging, but what they do is they downplay it the second they hear it. They go into, well, that's not really me, and like they start shifting. And the thing for me about delegation is that more often than not, it comes down to an identity issue. And that is really challenging because identity is, I'll put it this way, identity will defend itself because your identity is a core piece of who you are. And most of us see our identity as who we are. It's not, it's a piece of it, but that's really hard for most people to wrap their heads around. And so when they start to realize that their delegation is going to require them rewriting a portion of their identity. Maybe it requires them rewriting the portion of their identity where they're the hero and they save everyone and they do everything. Maybe it requires them rewriting the portion mine that I've been coming to terms with over the past few months since my conversation with Brian. I have always had this identity that I don't want to be the boss who's too good to take the trash out. I've seen those bosses. I've worked with those bosses. No one wants to be that boss. But what it turned into was Stephanie being so quick to jump in and help in everything that she was actually ending up a really boss in other areas.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good. It's not helpful. And that was the core piece of my identity was I'm not going to be the boss who's too good to take out the trash. And it was being able to come face to face with that and then start reworking that. And that is really hard to do. And so that would be my, if someone has struggled with delegating, that would be my nugget is like, I would encourage you to step back if you've tried to delegate and it's failed repeatedly. If you've tried to do something, anytime you've tried to do something and it's failed repeatedly, usually because we're blind blaming something and it's usually because it's tied to identity. And I would encourage you to step back and go, what of my identity is tied up in this? And most of the time we're going to be like, nothing. I don't want to be living this way.
Right?
Must be something because we're back here for the 8th time this year. Like, come on.
This is my 13th assistant in a year and a half. Whoops, something's wrong.
What's the common denominator here? So that was not an easy one, but I think it's one worth sitting with.
But that's really important. Yeah, for sure. And I could take that as a couple of golden nuggets all wrapped up in one little hug there. I love that.
Perfect.
No, that's like, and I talk a lot about just being introspective and really almost talking to yourself. Why is this happening? I get a lot of benefit out of saying things out loud. I don't know, maybe because this podcast is so therapeutic to me, and because I talk about it all the time. But why did I make that decision? Why am I doing this? What is the goal? What does done what are the steps I need to take to get somewhere? And how good am I at it? And reassessing myself over and over again, to see if I want to be where I'm at or get somewhere else. And then there might be something else I need to do.
Well, like from a neuroscience perspective, the talking and processing through things out loud. So
Yeah.
we don't think in terms of language. Our brains process
Mm,
in terms of emotion and experience. And
okay.
we need this portion of the brain called Wernicke's area to translate that into verbiage, which is what we need in order to be able to translate into action. And so you
Mm,
processing through it out loud is actually pulling these thoughts and experiences and emotions out of the back of your brain where they're sitting, not
mhm.
able to do anything with it because it's just a feeling, and then like turning it into something you can actually hold on to and use. So you're
Love it.
working with your
Love it.
brain whether
Well,
you
then
know it
I'm
or
doing
not.
something right.
Yes.
I may not delegate the best all the time. I'm not lying. I mean, I am claimed to be the expert. No, I feel like I am pretty expert in this after 40 years and knowing what's worked and what hasn't in my 40-year plus career at this point. But anyway, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. And I've had so much fun chatting with you. And I think there's so many takeaways people can take from our conversation. So thank you.
Thank you for having me on and making the space and making this fun.
Absolutely. It's all
Because
about fun. You got to have a little break in your day.
oh my gosh, right? That you can't
Kill
go
the
from thing to
noise. Kill
thing.
the noise. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you more than you know. And everybody, get out there and delegate and elevate and get done. Bye now. Hi, everybody. It's me, Bonnie. I am so excited to finally share this with you. My next venture, Preferred Service Pros, has officially launched. What started with the incredible guests we've had right here on Delegate to Elevate has grown into a trusted directory where you can find professional service providers, coaches, consultants, and experts who are doing meaningful work. Our season 1 and season 2 guests here on D2E are already featured. So if someone you heard on the show caught your attention, you know where to find them. Visit preferredservicepros.com to explore the directory. And if you're a professional service provider who feels like you belong among the preferred, we invite you to apply. That's it for today's episode of Delegate to Elevate, Get Done. Be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen. And if this episode gave you a golden nugget or two, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Your review may even be featured in a future D2E listener shout out. Head over to delegate2elevatepodcast.com. That's with the number 2 to grab Bonnie's free Delegate to Elevate growth roadmap. Explore past episodes and join us next time for more real conversations about getting done.